The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened with an urgency not seen in 3 centuries. Holographic representatives from 47 species flickered into existence around the circular chamber, their forms casting ethereal shadows across the polished obsidian floor. At the center podium stood Chancellor Vrixtal, his crystalline exoskeleton pulsing with anxious bioluminescence. "They've done it," he announced, his translator rendering the words in 1,000 languages simultaneously. "The humans have left the restricted zone." A chorus of chittering, hissing, and electromagnetic pulses erupted across the chamber. Mia Chen stood in the observation deck above, her arms crossed as she watched the alien politicians descend into chaos. Beside her, Ken Rodriguez couldn't help but smirk. "They seem upset," Ken observed, adjusting his military dress uniform. "They're terrified," Mia corrected, her dark eyes scanning the translations scrolling across her neural implant. She was the lead xenoanthropologist assigned to the First Contact diplomatic team, and she'd spent the last 5 years studying every species in this council. "We just violated the most sacred law in galactic civilization." The restricted zone, officially designated as Sector 7G by Earth's cartographers, had been humanity's cage for the past 50 years. When the Galactic Council had discovered Earth, they'd been horrified. Humanity had split the atom, developed artificial intelligence, and reached its moon all within the same century. Such rapid technological advancement was considered impossible, dangerous, and fundamentally unnatural by every other species in known space. The Council's solution had been simple: quarantine. Humanity would be allowed to exist, but confined to a bubble of space no larger than 20 light-years in diameter. Resource shipments would be provided. Technology would be carefully rationed. Humans would be kept safe from themselves, and the galaxy would be kept safe from humans. That was the theory. "Anyway, Representative Quilleth of the Azurian Collective wishes to speak," the Chancellor announced. His tone resigned. A serpentine creature materialized larger than the others, her scales rippling with indignant purple hues. "This is an act of war. The humans were explicitly forbidden from developing faster-than-light travel beyond the Mark III classification. Our scouts report they've deployed vessels with Mark VII capability, technology that took my people 4,000 years to develop. They achieved it in 5 decades. Mia leaned toward Ken. "She's not wrong. The Einstein drive works better than even our most optimistic projections." "Good," Ken replied. "Maybe they'll finally take us seriously." Below, Chancellor Vrixtal was attempting to restore order. "The human delegation has requested permission to address this council. As per galactic law, they have that right." "Give them nothing," shrieked a floating jellyfish-like being. "They've already taken everything." "They were given paradise, freedom from want, from disease, from conflict, and they rejected it." That struck a nerve with Mia. She tapped her communicator. "Ambassador Williams, you might want to emphasize that point when you speak." In the delegation chamber below, Ambassador Sarah Williams nodded. She was a woman in her 60s, gray-haired and sharp-eyed, selected specifically because she reminded the council of their own elder statespeople. She moved to the central platform with measured grace. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," she began, her voice calm and clear. "We come not as conquerors, but as neighbors finally able to introduce ourselves properly. You come as oath-breakers," Quilleth hissed. "You swore to remain within the boundaries set for you." "No," Williams corrected gently. "Our governments agreed under duress to accept those boundaries for a provisional period. That period, as outlined in Article 47, Section 12 of the Quarantine Accords, has expired. We are now free to navigate the galaxy as we see fit." Mia watched as several delegates frantically pulled up the relevant documents. She and Ken had spent months combing through the bureaucratic nightmare of galactic law, searching for that one loophole. They'd found it buried in subsection after subsection, probably inserted by some low-level functionary who never imagined it would matter. Chancellor Vrixtal's bioluminescence dimmed. The spirit of the law was clear. "The spirit doesn't matter in a court of law, Chancellor," Williams interrupted. "Only the letter. And the letter says we're free to go. But why?" The question came from a small, furry delegate who'd remained quiet until now. "We gave you everything: peace, prosperity, protection. Why would you reject our generosity?" Ambassador Williams smiled sadly. "Because you gave us a cage. A comfortable cage, yes, but a cage nonetheless." Mia felt Ken tense beside her. This was the moment they'd prepared for. The moment humanity had to explain itself to a galaxy that had never understood them. Every species here, Williams continued, developed slowly. You had tens of thousands of years to mature, to make your mistakes gradually, to learn caution. Humanity didn't have that luxury. We evolved on a world that tried to kill us every single day. We faced ice ages and plagues, predators and disasters. We learned to adapt or die. And we chose to adapt. She gestured to the holographic star map floating above them. You see our rapid development as recklessness. We see it as survival. You imprisoned us for our own good, but you never asked what good means to us. You never considered that maybe, just maybe, humanity needs challenges to thrive. Kuleth's scales shifted to a confused orange. You want hardship? We want purpose, Ken muttered, and Mia nodded. We want the freedom to fail, William said. To succeed. To explore and discover, and yes, sometimes to make mistakes. You offered us a paradise, but it was someone else's paradise. We're not like you, and that's okay. The galaxy is vast enough for different kinds of beings. The chamber fell silent. Mia could see calculations running behind alien eyes. Threat assessments, political maneuvers, military considerations. They were still afraid, but then Chancellor Vrixtal did something unexpected. He laughed, a crystalline chiming that filled the chamber. 60 years ago, when we first observed Earth, I was a junior analyst, he said. I wrote in my report that humanity would either destroy themselves or surprise us all. I see now I should have bet on the latter. He turned to face the full council. The humans are loose in the galaxy. We can choose to treat them as enemies or as the neighbors they wish to be. I know which option serves us better. Mia exhaled slowly. It wasn't quite acceptance, but it was a start. Beside her, Ken grinned. Ready to show them what humanity can really do? Ready, Mia replied, watching as the first human exploration vessels appeared on the star maps, spreading out into the infinite dark. Let's give them a show they'll never forget. For Galactic Council would soon learn what Mia and Ken already knew. Humanity wasn't leaving the restricted zone to conquer the galaxy. They were leaving to join it.